First, Cynthia, is St. Elsewhere going to make the cut?
Well, we've made it. We got picked up for 9 more, and we start back in January. So at least into next year.
Is that a little uncomfortable for the cast in making plans or planning the future, or even planning your budget to live?
Very much so for me, anyway. I mean, but that's not unusual for an actress or actor to not know what he's going to be doing. That's usually goes with the territory. So you get used to it. You get to where it doesn't really bother you too much.
Have the writers of the show tried to change it to adapt a little more to try to appeal to the audience, or play any games like that? They're really sticking to the game plan.
I think there were some changes made from last year in terms of simplifying the storyline and not using so many characters in each show. I mean, in terms of simplifying the characters used. So I think, and also maybe more humor. Those subtle changes are going on.
If you were the executive producer of the show, would you do anything differently than what they're doing now, if you could really have a say in it?
Oh, I'd probably write a few more women's stories, women-related issues, stories about women's problems. And not just for me, but there's wonderful women on the show. Christina Pickles, I would certainly do one if they wrote it. There's some really lovely people. So I think it gets a little, for me, it gets a little masculine sometimes, and I think the women out there probably would like to see some of the female side of point of view.
Do you let that opinion be known to the
Well,
powers?
Yeah, it's in a way.
For what good it does, maybe?
Well, you don't. Yeah, I mean, they have their own view of how they want to do their show, and it's their show, and they've got so many of us, and I don't presume to go in and say, listen, I want to do this. We have talks once in a while, and I've mentioned a couple of things, and they're very receptive, and I'm sure when they can get to that, they will. They've got so much to do and responsibility now. I don't try to add to that. Career woman. She has chosen to be with this man, knowing that he has other relationships, but in her life right now, that is what she that's fine with her. That's what she needs, and probably couldn't really handle a lot more than that. It's a consistent relationship. It's been going on for a while, but there are no bars on the windows. I mean, they're certainly both agree that they can see other people, and I think that may be indicative of a lot of relationships in the 80s and now, where people aren't making commitments. There's not the conventional relationships that there used to be.
Do you think there'll be some negative reaction from women about this movie a little bit?
There might be. I'm sort of getting an idea of that from some women, but I think if you remember, all the women are very strong in this film. They're very independent, and they've chosen to be in these situations. It's not like you can view it that he's using women, but I think that's not at all what it's about. They have chosen to share with him what they share, and for the time they share it, and they're seem to be happy with that, and so it's not that they're victims. The women aren't victims.
Let's talk a second about criticism. I heard Bert make a tirade a minute ago going at critics because they've beat him up over the years, even though the public has accepted him, greatly. Have you ever had a lot of criticism so far, or you've been spared?
I haven't had criticism. I had some criticism in the theater back when I was learning. Back when I was studying at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. And I was, my first Shakespearean play, it's a repertory company, and I'm learning all of it. And this was my first time up, and I got pretty massacred. And,
To hurt your feelings? Or?
Well, I think, give me a break here. I mean, I'm not trying to be Helen Hayes. I'm, a young, very young girl. I'm learning, I'm working, there's some really good moments. I don't pretend to be an expert at this, but so it's not really helpful when they take if you get something that helps you clarify something for you, I think that's okay. But the problem with it is if you believe critics when they like you, then you have to believe them when they don't like you. Mm-hmm. And the danger is then you are sort of a yo-yo. Whatever people think of you, that's a judgment of you. That's what you're supposed to think of yourself. So you have to really not let all that affect you, which is hard to do. So then you have to sort of push it out and not read it, not look at it. But you do once in a while. It comes up, and it can't help but bother you because you are the. Mm-hmm. I am the tapestry. I am the painting. I am the artist is the product in a way. Product they use in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So call you that. but I am the canvas. You know, most artists can paint a picture and leave it standing over there, and everybody can go look at it, and it's sort of removed from them. But with an actor, you are the color. All the colors are in you. You are the piece, and so it hurts more when somebody's throwing arrows and slings and arrows there. You know.
Thank you.